Here it is, the Mirafit M130 squat and bench press rack. This is my home gym setup with the bench, with the barbell, with the plates and with the rack. And in today's video I will give a full review on the rack and name the pros and cons of it. This is how the rack looks like without the bench and with all the weights, only with just the barbell. Now when it comes to bench pressing, you have to keep in mind the barbell width. So here you have the sleeve where you will load the weights, and keep in mind this distance right here. It falls all the way through the barbell. Here's on the another side, and if the barbell will be too short, this will just bump in here and you will not be able to bench press. So the bare minimum of the space that the barbell should have is about here 114 centimeters. So that's the distance between this and this where you cannot load any weight. And the total length of the barbell is 1.6 meters. So that would be my minimum recommendation of the barbell. It shouldn't be any narrower than that. Theoretically, you could make the rack here narrower, but then you will face the problem. You would either need to bench in a very close grip fashion, or if the rack will be too narrow, you will bump your elbows here on the safeties. So here at the bottom, using this, you can adjust here the width of the rack. If I'm looking here at the other side, you can see these holes right here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the standard that I'm using. To make it narrower, you just twist this in the left side, and also you loosen this here, and then you just make it narrower. Just like this, very simple. So this is the most narrow that the rack can be. So we have here 75 centimeters of width. And just imagine if you would bench here, just how narrow everything is. I'm using this position only for trap bar shrugs, so it's very convenient. You can place here on the safeties the trap bar, and you don't have to deadlift it from the ground, and you can already start shrugging. That would be the position of the maximum width that you can achieve with the rack. So we have here about 1.2 meters in width. So here on the other side you can see just how many holes, 3 are left. So that's about the width. Basically, you can customize it to your length of barbell or to the dimensions of the space that you have available in your apartment or your garage, whatever you are working out. After that, we have the safeties here. So they are very convenient if you are bench pressing or squatting, and if you would fail the repetition here, you can just drop the bar here. So first of all, same principle as here. You have this pin to adjust the height of the safeties, and it secures it very stable. So first of all, you must twist it here, and then you also pull, and you see how it drops here. So this will be the lowest setting at about 60 centimeters of height, and the highest is about 80 centimeters. So it depends on the exercise that you are doing, either the bench or the squat. So you will set according to the exercise and also to your own height. Personally, the perfect height for you. Now, what I do like about the Mirafit safety spotters here in particular is there is almost no gap here. So you can see the gap is very minimal. If you would drop by accident here a barbell while bench pressing, it will not slip through it and land on your neck. There are some models that have here a pretty wide gap, and there's a video on the internet floating around where it slips in the gap here and lands on the person's neck. So that's a complete no-go, and this is the model that I found here without a major gap. After that, of course, we have the place where the barbell will be placed, and this is once again height adjusted. So at the lowest setting it's about 91 centimeters in height, and at the highest it's about 151 centimeters where you can place the bar. So that's how the rack is looking like on the highest setting. So you would use the setting either when performing squats or, for example, overhead pressing. And what I really like about this rack is the increments in which you can adjust the height. So here you can see the height and with the hole. The distance is 5 centimeters between each hole, and I did have in the past a rack where the distance between each hole was not 5 here but 10 centimeters, and this was not good because then the barbell would be either too high or too low for my personal needs. So here you can be very precise in the height adjustment, and for sure you will find then the sweet spot when bench press. And here at the back we have these metal rods, and they can be used to store your plates. So I have here 30mm diameter plates, and I can place them here so you can use them as storage. They can also serve the purpose of have some support on the rack if you will place the weights here, but I don't use it that much. I tend to store the plates here on the side. So this is a very good alternative if you have, for example, a small space available for a home gym or a garage gym and you don't want to place here a full rack with a cage or a half rack. So we have this space saving option where you can adjust the width to your needs. You have spotters for safety when benching or squatting, and you can adjust the height here for squatting and overhead pressing. So it's a very nice construction, and you can also do some unconventional exercises. So if you will make it very narrow, you can place here a trap bar and do trap bar shrugs, for example. And if I will be placing a bench here, I can place a barbell also on the spotters, and I can do some seated calf raises, for example. That's also a unconventional way to use the rack, but mainly it's reserved for bench pressing, squatting and overhead press. Of course, you can also place the bar here and pick it up to do some Romanian deadlifts. So it's a very versatile piece. And overall, for the price, it's of very good quality. I did have it for a couple years now and nothing did break, and it's very sturdy. This comes with rubber attached here to this metal, but I did remove it because I do find it blocks the barbell from moving. So yeah, that's how the rack is looking like live when setting it up. If I am pulling here, it moves quite easily, but if you have pushed it against the wall or you do place some plates here or on the side, it's stable. As you see, it doesn't shake here that much. It moves just a little bit, so it's very stable. Now this is the Mirafit website. As you see, M130 adjustable squat and bench press rack. Here it is. If I'm looking at the photos, that's the rack that I did show you live, how it looks like. So here you have the dimensions. It can be as narrow as 78. I did measure 75, but it depends here where you will place the pin. And the maximum width is about 120. Here it says 123. Spotters you can adjust 60 to 80, like I did show you in the video. Here it says a little bit more. These are the distance of the spotter, 51 centimeters. So they have enough space if you will bench press. They are not short. And here the adjustment from 103 to 158 of the total height, but it measures here to the very top. Here are some more photos. As you can see, it suits for bench pressing. This was the rubber on the metal, but I did remove it. Here are the pins where you can adjust everything. Here you can store the plates. This is the bottom part where you adjust the width. So yeah, very solid rack. Here you can pause and read all the description, but basically I did mention you everything, and I only did mention pro. What is the con of this? Well, the only con in my opinion of this rack is the delivery. So the price is very good. It's 150 pounds, and Mirafit delivers to the UK only, and I think maybe to Ireland. So if you are living not in the UK, it's problematic. I do live in a European Union country, so you then need to use some services. For example, if you are living in another country like Germany, Poland, whatever, they have warehouses in the UK. So you would log in into Mirafit and they would then deliver it to their own warehouse. Let's say, for example, Germany. So a German company owns a warehouse in the UK. Mirafit delivers it to the warehouse, and then the warehouse delivers it to Germany and to your home. So this will be like a 100 euros on top for the delivery, for the customs, everything, and it can then get pretty expensive for the rack. So if you are living outside the UK and you want to get this, well, then unfortunately you have to bite the bullet as I did, and it will be like 100 euros on top of this for the delivery and all the customs. But overall, it's a very solid rack, and it's very versatile, and it competes very well with the full racks, the full cage or the half racks, because it's a space saver and very flexible in its use. So that's it for this video, and I will link here a playlist if you are interested in hypertrophy training, so you can check it out. That's it for today's video. Bye and see you next time.